everything should be loading just fine. Yeah, everything should be fine. Hello everybody, my name is Christian and welcome back to another stream. This one is another behind the scenes. So today, what we're going to be working on, specifically three things, it's in the title. We're going to be working on clouds, falling blocks, and sponges. Now, what's different from the last behind the scenes that I did is that there was stuff that I was working on that I already knew how to do. Now this is stuff that I haven't worked on and I should kind of know how to do. I remember a long time ago I looked at the flying block and I couldn't really work with it. We're going to take another look at it, and clouds is this one's going to be interesting. So let's actually start with the clouds because that's easiest, and I want to make sure that something actually gets done. So the easiest way to do this is you want to go into, basically it's your Minecraft folder, and this is a type of texture. And we can take a copy of this if you want to make custom clouds. I have a 1.18.2. This is every Minecraft file, but this is really easy if I go to my assets, Minecraft, and textures. This is going to be called environment. So if I spell it correctly, that'd be great. So textures, new. This is going to be a directory because this one is okay. environment, environment. And then we're going to add one called, we would need to add the PNG file, because right directly this should be clouds. So we're going to go in our little GIMP, let this load up. So now we're in GIMP. Oop, cancel. There we go. If I open up my phone, I can just copy this in here. So this is the clouds file, and this is pretty large. It's a 256 by 256. And then from here, if you want to make some custom clouds, let's kind of make some stuff. So if I basically come over here real quick, we'll have this be the almighty cloud. If I don't like something, I can always get rid of it later. 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, 2, 3, and then if I just fill this in with the bucket, perfect. That's a little heart. Great. So now we have that. So now, oh, one thing I should mention. If I basically, let's say I was to type in an actual cloud texture. Let's say I was going to type in my name, right? So let's go R, and then what we're going to do 3, down, up, and then 3 like this, right? So that would be spelling it from here, but you have to remember this is the top of the clouds. So we're looking above the clouds. Like we're higher than the mountains. We're up with the plains. You know, we're in the outer atmosphere, not the inner. So that means this is going to be backwards. So a good way to try and check this out, if I do layer, and then I want to do wait, no, not layer, image. I want to flip the image, which I can do that in transform. If I flip it horizontally this way, and then I have to find it again, it should be on this side, you'll notice that it's spelled backwards. So now we're looking from the interior. We're looking from the bottom side. So now we're where the sea level is, and we're looking up into the sky. And this is not what we want. We don't want it to be backwards. We want it to, because you know, we don't want that. So we're gonna take this out a little bit, and then we can just put in our normal name. If I just R2, oop, 1, 2, R, up, down. This one's gonna be tricky. I'm just gonna do this. That's as close to an M as I'm gonna get. Oop. There we go. So now if we find somewhere else, let's come in here. Let's put in 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have Pred's name. We want to try and cover a bunch of areas so we're always kind of looking at something. If I simply Yeah, we're not gonna have them look like that. That might be too far out. 1, 2. And then we're just gonna delete this one. There, we got a little face. Yeah. And and when this file is going to lead, so the cloud file is basically, if you were standing here, the clouds would be moving east to west. So you would just kind of, it's hard not to show that without my hands, but we'll kind of see it later. Where if we're standing here, you'll watch the heart go this direction above our head until it's behind us. I guess it depends on which way you're facing, but you'll kind of see that east-west motion. My thing is, as long as I make something, so I made the top, middle top, the bottom, and other bottom. If I make something in the middle, it's okay if I delete a little some stuff, basically. No one will, quote-unquote notice. Let's try and put in, like a star or something. Base outline. Well, that's terrible. All right. If I just do, 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 and then I want 1, 2, 3, because we basically 1. We're getting there. We're getting somewhere. I feel like it's a much better star. What happens if I delete? No. We'll keep it back the way it was. That's a pretty good star. Actually, I mean, that would be noticeable if it was red, but just for consistency, let's make sure this is white. So now we have the heart, my name, the star, Pred, and then we have a smiley face. Let's try and make this a little bit more noticeable. We can do that by giving 1, 2, 3, 4, dot, 1, 2, 3, dot. No. There we go. There we go. It's a little bit more noticeable. So when we're done, we can do export as, and this would be clouds.png. We can put this in our if I just export it right here, it's gonna put it in my Minecraft folder, and I don't want that. We're gonna put it in here, clouds.png, in my pictures. Export. Okay, so basically, now when I'm in the code and stuff, I was going to do a clouds.png, right? I was going to make that in a file, but it has to be that PNG. So basically, if I just go to wherever I just put it, so I said I was going to put it in pictures. Here is my new clouds.png. So now if I drag that into this, it's now in here, and it's got a clouds.png. Now, because this is part of the resources of the mod, that's going through the HMH, because it's the resources over that, it's a little bit different, because the thing is, you have the main, and then you have the resources. You have my assets and data, but there's mine, and then there's Minecraft's. If I put something in mine, it's adding all these things to the game, but if I put something in Minecraft's resources, it's overriding them. So it's basically saying that Minecraft has a clouds PNG, but it's going to do this one that I've overridden first. So let's see if we can find one of these clouds. This is going to be really difficult to identify where I am, so hopefully I spawn somewhere which is really noticeable. Why does that look? That looks like something. It looks like a little dinosaur. Words are going to be noticeable, and then shapes should hopefully be noticeable enough. But we made 5 little shapes. All right. Okay, if I hit F11, that shouldn't break anything. We can delete this. All right. I'm gonna hope that you guys can hear the game because sounds are very important, but if you can't, well then you're gonna have to listen to me. Alright, let's look up at the clouds and see if we can find anything. Instantly, basically. So what I said is that if we hold still, basically, we can see that the clouds, if I'm holding still, the clouds are moving this way. So that means eventually, if we fly in the direction of the clouds, hopefully we find something that we made. I mean, it's really hard to kind of notice this, but I'm sure we'll find something. I mean, if we really can't find something as well, you'd also be surprised. Like the 256 by 256, because this thing is so slow. A lot of people thought that these were like randomly generated, but no. These are specifically done through a file. So making this go through a loop takes forever, and that might possibly be why people don't know. If I go at a slant, right? And we're just gonna keep going. I just realized I made a mistake. So at the beginning, I flipped the image, but I didn't flip it back. I was supposed to do that. And if you want to try and find, let's try and find a really big cloud, and let's try and look at the details, so we can tell where we are in the map. That'll make this a lot easier, because honestly, this seems like it's a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be. There's a big one. Big cloud. Big cloud. Big-ish cloud. Okay, so this one, okay. So this big cloud, I actually call the fish. I know what this is. This is basically the fish. So let's pause the game. We can hit that with escape. Nope. And basically if I go in here, right? Oh, well, actually, yeah, I can go through. The fish should be... Where is the fish? Huh. I'm trying to remember. I do call it the fish cloud because I have seen it before. We're gotta look in the little details basically until we find little fish. I think it's supposed to be down here, isn't it? I want to say it's in the bottom right. We're looking for it. Or at least I'm looking for it. I think it'd be funny if I was like super wrong. This definitely is that fish cloud though. Oh wait, that's right. I inverted it, so now it's on the right side. So this is where we are. So that's the fish. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and match the position of the fish to look like ours. So so this one is facing in this direction. So let's have our fish face the same direction. So now we can see that this fish is facing this way and this is this way. So that means for closest one, it looks like the closest. It's so inconveniently in the middle. All right, so basically this is where fish is. If we kind of go down, we should see the heart. This one should actually be the closest one. So we're gonna go down by the bottom of the fish's tail. So this way, we should see the heart relatively close to here. I think it'd be really funny if I somehow got the directions wrong. I'm pretty confident in myself, though. That might be my downfall. Tell me I messed this up. A very simple thing. Alright, let's see if we went too far. So we have this big cloud. This little cloud basically is like the little man with the ball. So if we pause it for a moment, and I basically was going down, right? Because we were by the fish, and I went down, and I went down. Tell me I went in the wrong direction. Which I think I did. Oh my goodness. Oh, is that where I am? Probably not. Oop, that's not what I wanted. No, because there's an extra pixel. Yeah. Bruh, how did I mess this up? Because it should overlay. Let's just keep going. Wish there was a way I could like speed the clouds. Another thing is if I spelled something wrong, that would also change it. It's a really tall tree. Come on. I should be able to recognize this. This looks like a good curve. Because I'm only going in this direction, right? Bruh. Honestly, I don't know. Alright, let's go back to the PNG. First off, what I need to do is take everything. Let's go a little nuts for a moment, just because. So we're gonna take this red, right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bucket some of these. So big cloud, you're gonna be. Oop, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I asked. Why are you only? Dude, why are you selecting that anyways? I don't know why it's doing that. Is there anything else? Bruh. I don't understand how it thinks everything else is a color. It thinks everything's the same color except for that. That makes this really, really annoying. Super annoying. Alright, let's... If it wants to be annoying, then we can be annoying too. How am I going to do that? Let's... I really don't understand. Alright. Alright. And here's where to wing, Control C, Control V, and then we're gonna put it here. Actually, let's put it here. And then what we're gonna do, enter, yep, Control V, Control V, because what I want to at least do is at least make sure that the file is working. I could make these multiple colors, but actually, yeah, I'll probably do that. Just a second, maybe a tad. My thing is this file is so big and the clouds move so like I myself as the player also moves ridiculously slow, so it makes this really, really painful. All right, so now right now we're just trying to make sure I did this right. So clouds.png, we're gonna put it in here. I spelled it right. It's always my biggest concern, because if you spell something wrong, then it can't overwrite it, and then you're like, it doesn't get fun in the game. All right, let's try this again. Pictures. Oop, I can't see what I'm trying to put it into. We can just do this. Lol. All right, let's do this, and it should ask me to override. It did not. No. Clouds. Okay, refactor, rename the copy, and clouds.png, refactor, overwrite. Make sure that this is the one with a bunch of hearts, and let's restart the game. This is supposed to be like the really easy and simple one. It just happens to be massive. I think over time, if I kept editing this and kept putting like little tiny little pictures in it, it would be fine. It's also really hard to tell where you like. If I saw one of these shapes, I'd be like, oh, I know I'm in this area. I'm in this area, but no, I feel like I'm in here, and I'm just looking. And my render distance is like, and I just can't tell. Actually, no, it feels like my render is in the super small. And they're red, so the clouds can actually support colors. Um, Look at that, automatically. There's one of them. Where am I though? I have. Oh wait. I was gonna say I have no idea. I'm somewhere on this side of the. Yeah. So I was going the right direction because I kept going down, and somehow I missed the original heart. Bruh. Bruh. But at least you know it's working. That's that. Alright, so I guess now that I know that this is working, I want to try and find one of the names. That's the thing, though. Alright, let's try and figure out which heart this is. So there's a select number of hearts, right? So we have a heart with a dot. And some, yeah, so this one looks like it's I think I'm literally here in the corner of the bottom. Oop. This one right here. Does that, hold on, if I see a fish, that means I went into an entire circle. Hold on, is this a fish cloud? I went in an entire circle, and I somehow missed the top heart. I don't understand. So it's supposed to go down, right? So that is the heart. Displayed on this side. Oh, and I think I needed to be on the other side. Maybe that's what I did. Maybe I was too far over. Because basically, am I supposed to be by the fish's head? No, I'd be by the fish's tail. Like, that's how I moved it. because there's this, right? So if I go this way, yes, thank you, there's another one. But then if I go this way, because I'm on the west, and I'm looking at basically this cloud, right? So there's this one, and then if I go, this is basically where the original one's supposed to be. If I go this direction, I can't believe I went into an entire circle though. That's very odd. That is a lot of blank space. Here it is. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Well, at least none of those are ring. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go back into this one more time, and I'm gonna hit Control Z a bunch of times. We're getting rid of all these hearts, basically. So I basically know that, oh, and I want that to be white. Okay, so we know that one's working, basically. And then all I have to do for this one is I need to go View, no, Image, Transform, and then I have to flip this way. So here, because we're on top, yeah, export as clouds.png. Replace. I don't know why I didn't do that last time. Export. So now if I go into here, we can delete this one, and then we can go into our clouds environment, and there's this, and we're going to overwrite this. So now that's in the game. So now it's back to the way it was. Actually, if I... No, I don't know if I'm... Actually, I can tell. I was like, okay, so if I basically restart the game, I should be above that cloud, and I think that was the original cloud. And if it was the original cloud that I thought it was, then it'll be white, which is great. That's cousin clouds. Then we're going to try and work on the falling block and see how that goes for us. Alright, I think the answer to that was no. That was not the original, that was not the heart that I thought it once was. Darn. Hopefully, if I look hard enough, I might just through the rest of the stream, I might find a new stream. Anyways, or I might find another cloud. Anyways, that, I know it's in the game. I don't need this original. I don't need this in here, so we can get out of that. Alright, so now let's try and go and make a... So, I want to make a block, basically. How do I do that? Because normally, you guys just kind of see the finished result, basically. So, we're going to go into... I would make a block by going... Oop, this is in my assets, that's why. Block, mod blocks. And usually when I'm testing something, I'll always put it at the top. And I'll usually take like my snow bricks, and the reason I usually take this one at first is because, oh shoot, what is a type of falling block that we need? Well, we don't really need a falling block, but if something could fall, what would I have fall? So generally when I have a thought like that, control, let's, that's probably going to cause an issue. Yep, it can't be called twice. Let's look in the mod. Let's try and get inspired, basically. Let us try and find a block that we are good with. Oop, I didn't want to do that. Ugh. I have to make sure that that's all the way down. There we go. Alright. So all we're going to be doing is I'm just going to hit E, tab, and this is a different mod. This is what I use to help make the penguins. Because I just need the animatable and stuff like that, but that was done by through Geekolib. Anyways, let's make some. Let's try and look for something that could possibly falling. I could think salt. That would be really annoying because it's found everywhere. um, leaf blocks would be really annoying. I can also compress something. So if I made this ash into an ash block and then had it like falling ash. Um, hmm. Right. Let's also go through Minecraft stuff. Is there anything compressible or things? Because I can basically make a mod block like that and then. Hmm. Concrete's a falling block. I just realized that. All right, all right. But get this. Get this, right? So concrete is a falling block, right? But what is concrete made out of? It is made out of sand and wait, is it made out of sand and gravel? That would explain why it falls. I was gonna say I thought it was made out of sand and gunpowder. Then I realized nope, that's TNT. All right, but that perhaps gunpowder. I don't know. You never know. We're just going through. Um. Hmm. Sugar. Hmm. And then we're into my stuff. Okay, I was also thinking the dust types. So if I had like redstone, redstone dust, and then we have actually if I type in du dust. So we basically have these powerful dusts in here, which means we also have the original salt. So these are basically our dusts. Um, we have sand. Sand is a falling block. Gravel is the other falling block. Um, redstone is already compressible, and this one's already compressible. So we're looking at these three now. Um, salt, sugar, and gunpowder. And when I mean, this is my block. Compressible. Let's take a look at a block that we have already exist, and let's update basically salt. Let's make salt a falling block. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look. Since this block already exists, we're gonna have to take a look at it. If I don't know where it is, we can just look up salt block. There it is, and it just says block. If I type in here, it'll probably give me the Minecraft file, block Minecraft, and then we're gonna go in here. This might actually be called falling block, and if that's the case, here it is. If I simply just call this, don't get me wrong, this could be ridiculous. Oop. Falling block. Does anything happen? I would be shocked if this worked. I think that would be really funny. Why is it material of stone? I don't know. I think it's funny that it's material of stone. This thing is like the most like breakable thing. It's because it's 0.2, which only makes it a fraction of it, but I don't know. Let's see if that simply that just made salt. I think that would be interesting. Oh, it put me back up here again. Ooh, that was a little bit of lag. Alright, so while we're going here, let's get some salt blocks. And let's see if it worked. It did. That was going to be I thought that was going to be a lot harder. And then if I give myself a torch, put myself in survival. If I do this, yep, it does that. Wow, it works just as I thought it would. I don't have to go to this extent, but I'm just going to just because. As long as I make it in the water, that should be fine. Alright. I just needed to go high enough so that I would make it in the water. If I was one block shorter, I would not have made it in the water. Wow. Alright, well, that was pretty quickly. Alright, so I just called it falling block. There wasn't really anything, because I just realized I'm not making like a custom falling block itself. The fact that it falls is a physics thing, it's not an actual change thing. So let's try and work on the third thing. Also, every time I put something in the mod, right, I go to change log, right? So we actually have added. That's more technical version. So what do? We also added clouds. Actually, no. I feel like this would be changed. So let's first mention the more important thing, which was salt is now falling block, and then the other one, which is new cloud. Wait, I was like, why is there an N in there? It didn't look right. I was trying to spell the last letter right, and I was like, wait, it still doesn't look right. New clouds. Alright. So now, when we did that, we hit save every time I do it, and then when I add something, I just... So let's work on sponges. Now, not just any sponge. We want to make a lava sponge variant, and we're going to see how this is. Now, this, if we just simply made another sponge, it would, yeah, it would work, but we want to make a lava sponge. So, sometimes what this will come into is, like, think of, like, let's see if it probably doesn't even exist. Lava sponge. We're probably going to get a bunch of, like, yeah, lava sponge, curse forge, stuff like that. There's a lot of things where, like, you just have to... Is there a sponge for lava? Pumice? And saturated pumice? That's funny, because pumice is actually in the game. Is there a sponge for lava? It could be called pumice and saturated pumice. After the pumice rock that forms volcanic eruptions is a lightweight and full of cavities, just like the sponge block. Wait, why is this on a Minecraft feedback? That's so weird. That's so weird. Alright, so let's change this. So let's actually use our pumice then. We don't really have to make a new texture yet. Because we're gonna we are gonna have to make another variant because there is sponge and wet sponge. So that just simply means we're gonna have to make a pumice and heated pumice, I guess, or hot pumice. Well, let's call it hot pumice. Let's discard this, but we're not gonna close out of it because we are gonna have to make that hot pumice. So the first thing we're gonna have to look at is let's go all the way to sponge, basically. So we need a sponge block. Cool. So there's this. This is what we're going to be taking. And if I quickly... Oh, let me just use this much faster. Let's go in our custom blocks. And we're going to make a... let's call this a... I don't know. sponge block. I'm just gonna call this lava sponge, and this is gonna be extends sponge block, and we're always gonna make this constructor matching super. What does that do exactly? Oh, this is protected. If you ever see a protected, make it public, public, and then it basically overrides everything in the settings, so it basically puts in like all the default stuff. It just solves all my problems. We're gonna look at the sponge block, right? And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take everything. Isn't that so fun? All right, Control C. Actually, let's add these ones in first. Control C. So we're at the lava sponge, right? And we're gonna put these in first. Those are the fields. They're not taken up until I put in the other ones. So now let's put in the other ones. It doesn't have to be put in that order, but it makes me feel better, so that's what makes sense. Boop. All right. So, is there any issues? The answer is no. That makes me feel a lot better. So, in my mod blocks, let's Control F. Let's look for the pumice that I have, and this is going to be called lava sponge. Does it cause any issues? Sometimes in the very end of it, it will cause issues. As of now, it doesn't. So we have that. So now it should be in the game, but it's going to do some weird things because, well, I want this to be a lava sponge, and if we look at update water sponge or wet sponge, we're going to need to change a few things. Absorb water. We don't want it to absorb water. We want it to absorb lava. That's the first one. Oop, files read only. Huh, let's go in our lava sponge and let's look at the things that we need to change. So, fluid tags dot lava. And so obviously we don't need this to be called absorb water. This is going to be called absorb lava. Is it changed somewhere? Yes, in here. Lava. There we go. So now it's taking this in the absorb lava because that's the method. Fluid block air, underwater plant. Honestly, would that even do anything if I put it in? Okay. This actually seems to be a really small file, so there's really not that much to read. This is basically saying take anything that's there's a fluid block, right? So this would take all the extra water and it's going to turn all that fluid stuff into air. The fluid that we're talking about is the fluid tags lava. So this is going to take all the lava in that general area and it's going to turn them into air blocks. I think that means that if let's just see what happens. Oh, and it's going to get me a wet sponge, but we're going to ignore that because we haven't made the new pumice yet. I want to see how this interacts with water still, even though it's fluid tags lava, and we're just going to make sure that the basics are still working. Alright, so put me down here. Alright, so now what we're going to do, here, and we're going to grab my pumice. Does it do anything with the water? Shouldn't. Doesn't. Now, I remember it saying something about underwater plants. It does not affect the plants. Good, 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 good. Now, let's see if I can get a lava, right? So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to... I just happen to be jumping everywhere. Ooh, sucked it right up, and now it gave me the perfect. So, I want this to flow as far as possible. Well, that wasn't helpful. Let's go into the nether. Obsidian. Because lava flows a lot farther there. Oop. Flint. Alright, so now this should be a lot easier to check out. Let's go in... Oop, not survival. Yeah, get away from me. Perfect, this is what we want. This is what we want. Maybe not this tall, but basically let's just suck that all up. And so we know that the lava... Okay, I guess there is a lot of lava. It's doing the basic job that I asked it. That's good. So it does take... Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. I can make it larger. Honestly, this feels pretty natural. You know, without being like a super tedious task. This is really fun, actually. Oh, that's right. In the Nether, it's no longer a wet sponge because it dries up instantly. So now this is a just normal sponge. That's funny. Okay, so the main gist of it actually is working. That's pretty good. So we have that, right? Is there anything that we need to do as make the lava sponge, basically? So let's go in through here, right? Oop. Let's go through here. And what we're going to do is we're also going to come into here. And we need to... That's too far. We can... Alright, assets, mine, textures, blocks, and we're going to look for the pumice. And we're going to make sure that this is, yeah, not a full screen because I can just drag it in here. Q. There it is, pumice, poop. Alright, so now, let's try, let's file, new, 16 by 16, always make sure the background is transparency, boop. And I can either try and copy, I mean, if I go in here, right, I wanted to make it look like hot pumice, like it's absorbed the lava, right? But I don't want it to look exactly like lava, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go into textures, block, and we're going to look up, oop, magma. Oop, I just realized that magma has a, it has an animation, but that doesn't really matter if I simply just do this, basically. I have the lava-ish textures that I'm looking for. So here we have some dark tones, right? We're going to fill in the darkest tones with the darkest orange. So I mean, those are the really severe ones. Let's see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go on to the next one. This one. Let's take those new severe tones. All right, let's grab the next one. This one. Which we can, oop, didn't mean to do that. Doot, doot. Let's grab that really light one. And does that look like it's been consumed by lava? I don't know. Let's color Q chroma, because here we can actually make it lighter. No. Do we want to increase this? Yeah, this actually kind of helps, definitely. If I make this darker, that looks really cool. This will change the actual color. I'm not looking for that. That might be a little too much. I'm liking this 10-10 here. So let's say that basically, let's basically export this as not just pumice, but we're going to call this hot pumice, right? Export as hot pumice. I hope that put me in the pictures because I wasn't actually paying attention. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go into my mod blocks. So we have pumice, and just for fun of it, we're just going to make a new block because it doesn't do anything. Block. And this is going to be called hot pumice. Hot pumice. Alright, so we have that block, and then we need to add the block in like it's a regular block. Nothing special, so it doesn't. It definitely doesn't have an animation. We're gonna do like an or. This is gonna be called hot pumice. Model block of hot PUMI pumice. So that's the block states. The lang file. Control. Actually, it should be pretty close to here. Actually, nope. Let's go up here. Control D. All right, and we're gonna put it underneath it. Hot pumice, which is gonna be called hot pumice. This is how it looks like in the game. There's that. It's a model, block model. Here we go, and this is gonna be called hot PUM hot pumice. And then here we're gonna do hot. Hot. Oh, this cannot be capital. This is not going to be camel text or anything like that. All lowercase. Hot pumice. And an item. It does get an item too, which is just going to refer to the block. Hot pumice. See, it's the parent of the block, which is called hot. This is what it basically is in my hand. All right, that's the models. And then lastly, it doesn't have any texture. I mean, everything's pretty good itself. We're gonna go with textures block, and we need to make sure that we add in the actual. Oh shoot, this is the last thing I touched. So no. Did it go to my pictures like it was supposed to? It did not. Where did it take it? To do this, I always go to export, like I'm exporting it again, and then it'll tell me. It did put in textures.block. Isn't that where I was? Oh, okay, let's close out of this. Here we go. Let's look up hot. Okay. I can't seem to find it. Let's put it in my pictures because that's where it's supposed to go. Export. Perfect. Alright, and then we're going to come not into there. In here. We're going to open this back up, go to my pictures, and now we should have that hot pumice texture. Oop. And we're going to drag it into here. Hot pumice. Boom. Block textures. Overwrite. Make sure the pumice looks great. That I didn't change that because that would drive me nuts. A B C D E F G H I J K L. Here it is. Hot pumice. Great. And then what I need to do, let's close all tabs because there's way too many. And let's close out of this because there's too much to look at. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go custom. We're going to look at our lava sponge. And we want it not to turn into, where is it? Right here. So we're going to do here, it's going to be mod blocks dot, not wet sponge, but hot pumice. Boom. So now it should be the same thing as pumice, sort of, because I just copied it. I'll tweak it after. Just right now, I need to make sure that everything is still working. What's this? Raw from state blocks up water. I'm actually going to leave that be because right now everything's working. And that might be a... it just says sync world event. World events block broken. Block dot raw state. I don't know. As long as everything is still working in here. So we have pumice. It's going to touch this. It's going to give me a hot pumice, right? Great. And honestly, down here, that looks amazing. That looking real fine. Oh, look, there's another little fish. So, with that in mind, if I quickly come into here, grab a little pickaxe, go in survival, not spectator, survival, make sure that nobody is around to kill me. If I grab this, ooh, it takes longer. Isn't that so weird? And it didn't give it to me. I know why it didn't give it to me. There's things that I'm missing. Alright, let's... If you know what happened, you know what happened. Alright, we have to go into data. I don't think it's mine. It might be in Minecraft. Tags, blocks, mineable. Alright, needs... Let's say iron tool. And basically, we can just do this. We can just go Control D, and we're going to add this PUM, hot, PUMICE. That's what makes this breakable by needs iron tool, and then we're going to put this in here, under pickaxe, oh, right there, I saw it, Control T. And this is going to be hot, pumice. Oop, I didn't need to type that, just the hot part. Alright, and then making sure the other one looks just fine. Hot pumice, perfect. Alright, so now this should be breakable. Ah, tags, man. The tags get me good. Alright, go back to the world. How much pumice? Did I just have one piece of pumice, basically? I did. So basically, we have our pumice. We break it. Then what we're gonna do is come over here, suck that all up. And it still didn't give it to us. Alright. And this time it actually broke instantaneously, which is also bad. So let's go into... Does it have to be in mine as well? Tags, blocks. No. Why? Why? I got it. I think I got it. I have to go into loot tables, blocks, and I need to do hot P. Oh, I can't copy this or cancel that. I basically need this to be like a bamboo block basically. Hot pumice. So what did I forget? Basically, what this does is I forgot to basically make a loot table, basically saying when you break hot pumice, that you will get. Oh yeah, so when you break down here, whatever, wherever it is, when you break hot pumice, you will get a block, and it goes through a whole rolls thing, bonus rolls, there aren't any. The entries, so how many blocks can I can shove a bunch of block types in here, and then this would say you get one of all these entries. Right now there's only one singular entry, and it survives explosions, which is hot pumice. I hate it when I forget all these things. At least I don't have to add recipes, because this is like world made. It's world created, but not naturally made. It's not a natural made. Although I could make it naturally made. Do I want to do that? Maybe. I think I should actually I was actually thinking about moving pumice to spawn in the nether, and I just never got to it. I'm going to have to put myself in creative real quick. Control. That's spectator. Survival, creative. Survival, creative. There we go. All right, now we're gonna give ourselves pumice. Boom. So I'm gonna do this. So we have our pumice in, breaks, perfect, and then we have this. We break it, perfect. There we go. Look at that. Ah. And then if I want to just basically take this, I can just take all these. Now what I can do with this pumice, if I really wanted to, I have an idea of how we're gonna take the lava out of here. So normally, you would heat up the furnace, the sponge, and it would just turn into regular, like the you know. But we don't have that in this case. And actually, if I go into a type of recipe, so we are going to be making a recipe. It's going to be a little different though. Let's go in our F, because F is just right here, ice, right? We're going to go up, 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 up. All right, so here we're going to call it freezer, caps, Pumice, pumice. And this bakes the freezer block that I made. You put in my block, which is HMH2, and it's called hot pumice. And what do you get? You're going to get HMH2 pumice. So let's, and we have to add the advancement recipe. Give me 1 second. Let's say that this is a either miscellaneous or decoration. I'm going to call it miscellaneous. So basically what miscellaneous means, give me a second, this is going to be called, wait, I forgot for a second. Is this when you get it, or, okay, this is what you're getting, so, yeah. My brain just had like a moment there. Alright, nope. Let's make a copy of this. So here what we're going to do is call this hot, pumice. And so basically, the root is called, this could be wrong entirely. HMH2. I believe that the recipe, so this is the recipe, and it's going to be called the freezer. Pumice. That's what we're unlocking. Is this called recipe? Okay, this is called recipes. Let's just call this F. Pumice. And then we're going to change the name. Anyways, this is going to be, so when you obtain HMH2, when you basically get hot pumice in your inventory, you're going to unlock this recipe is what that means. So let's go to the hot pumice, and we're going to change this because F pumice. So let's see if not only that works, but the other thing works. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in our inventory, make sure that it's clear. Yeah, so slash clear, clear. And then we're going to leave this, and we're going to restart it and see if this is working. Alright, single player, go in here. Alright, so now, let's put ourselves in creative real quick. Let's give ourselves a few things. Let's give ourselves a, we want a freezer, and we're going to need something. Let's say a blue ice, because that takes forever. That's gonna be my best thing. And then let's give ourselves some pumice, just regular pumice, right? We're also gonna need a pickaxe for world situation. So let's take everything, right? So we have a freezer, and the freezer's gonna require to run with blue ice. Let's get some pumice here, and let's put in. Let's get some of this hot pumice first. I didn't expect that to be. Oh, that's definitely exposed. So basically, we now have some hot pumice, and with that in mind, we want to cool this down, right, into normal pumice. So we're going to put this down here, and it's going to turn it into normal pumice. Boom. Look at that, and then we can just reuse it. That's awesome. Ooh, that was really scary for a moment. Wow, this is really tall. I could increase or decrease this, which actually I'm gonna say that the distance on this is actually perfect. It's just like your normal sponge. Wow, this stuff goes deep. I'm gonna try something. I might fail. I failed. I was gonna try and place the block while falling. It didn't go so well. It's really cool. If I put myself creative, pumice, lots of it, right? If we wanted to stop forest fires, we can just use this. Look at that. This wouldn't do anything because I need, yeah, because that says, oh yeah. So let me test something real quick. If I go in creative / time set day. Oop, I didn't mean to put the extra Y there. There we go. We're gonna give myself a stone pickaxe and then an iron pickaxe. Because remember how I put it in the iron? So that means stone should only be able to break regular pumice. So if I do this, boom. But does it break this? It does. Does it break this? I really don't know how this mineable stuff works. It was recently just added in the 1.18. It was never a thing before, so I don't think I'm supposed to add it the second time in the all blocks thing, or like maybe it's pickaxes. Maybe it's not supposed to be added there. I have no idea. I thought that if you add it in pickaxes, it just means that it's pickaxe specific, but then it's like needs iron pick. I don't know. Well, that was the idea. So that's going to be a bug, technically. Sort of. Not really. I mean, I don't have to make it an iron pickaxe, but there's all that. So now we have our hot pumice, which is basically going to be our lava sponge. That's really good. That's really good. So now we can basically... is that basically all done? Probably. I mean, I would say so. If I basically just go in my changelog, added hot... Oop, caps. Hot pumice, and we're gonna call this lava. Let's do it like this: lava sponge. There. So now we've added that to our changelog. So we save it, and then go to my coding projects, and then we can. Oh, that's why. Because it's already up. Lava sponge. Boom. And then we can just kind of keep moving on, because honestly, I thought that was going to take me a lot longer than what it did. This is some easier stuff, I guess. Mushroom growth. TNT. Let's just take a look at what TNT looks like, because I know it deals with entities which I'm starting to get into, and I feel like this is going to be dangerous. Alright, so let's... oh, okay, there we go. Now it's being used. Alright, anyways, let's... Shift, blocks, that Java blocks. Control F, we're going to look at TNT, boom, and it's going to require a TNT block. We're going to look at that. So what does a TNT block do? Boolean, unstable. It just extends block, which generally means that this is pretty much everything that it's doing. Oh, that's why it would get difficult. So basically, let's take a look at. All right, let's take a look at the prime TNT, because it's basically saying TNT.prime TNT, right? Which is down here. Roll a client nullable living igniter. Game event prime fuse. You can use it with the flint and steel. Hmm. Not too sure what to do with that. All right, so let's try and well, actually, you know something that it doesn't mention. So like there is something in the game called like explosion radius, and this just doesn't really mention it. I think that's the thing about it. Public TNT settings on block added. That would okay. Oop. Neighboring redstone power. So if it gets power on break. Uh, okay, on destroyed by explosion. That might be. Oh wait, no. This is set fuse. Net world random. So this is the fuse. TNT entity. Causing entity. Okay. So this is our TNT entity. Entity type TNT. Intersection world random. I don't know what this devil is. Set velocity. Igniter. Fuse 80. That's how many seconds. Move back glides. Tick. Explode. Okay, so it says float 4. Create explosion. Height scale power 4. Okay. Now my brain is like starting to get there. Alright, so let's basically say, okay. Oh wait, this is TNT entity. Okay. Minecraft entity. Alright, so let's try, so this is our entity. So if I do, actually not our block entity, this would just be entity. So we are in our entities, and what we're going to do is we're going to try and make, let's say we want mod TNT, TNT, ENTITY, entity. So this is going to be extends, and this would just be TNT entity. Boop. Make this super because that's going to fix all our problems. Okay. Let's see if that does anything. Nope. All right. Now we're going to go into our TNT entity. Is there anything specific before TNT entity? The answer is yes, all this stuff. Control C. All right. So now we're going to make sure that that gets added beforehand. Does it break anything? No. And then we're going to take everything that is the TNT entity. We're going to have to fix this in a second. I just realized that. Super, and it needs to type. We need to add that. Big thing, big thing. It doesn't seem big until I add something in the wrong order, and then I get errors, and then I try and fix those errors when I'm not supposed to. I just realized this is called TNT entity, and this is also called TNT entity. Was it supposed to add them both in? Probably. Let's see if that causes an issue. Where it's like already called. Well, also this has to be mod TNT entity. Alright, so this one, it says this one's being called, this one's not being called. Alright, where is this being called anyways? Hmm. So this one's fine. This also should be fine because anything that extends should be fine. Control F. If I just did, well, actually, yeah, we're looking at TNT. Let's say TNT entity specifically. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to try, oh, there's that one, TNT entity class. Data tracker register, TNT entity class. Which extends entity. Alright, well anyways, this is our mod TNT, right? And we're going to make a block, a custom block, and we're going to call this big TNT. Block. And this is going to extend TNT block. Make sure this constructor matching super. Alright, and then we're going to do TNT block. So that should have everything unstable. Yep. So we're going to add this right here. Control C. Big TNT block. We need to make sure that that is added. Properties unstable. Perfect. And then just all that just so I can see the difference. Alright, and then let's put in all the extra stuff. Alright, we'll go to the top. Big TNT. Boom. Alright, and there's 3 errors. This is the first one where I'm like, alright, now we're starting to run into an issue. Alright, because every time I've made something in this one, I wanted to start with easier things. That way, it wasn't extreme. So let's take a look at the issues. So here we have prime TNT, right? So why is there already an issue? Uh, oh wait, that's in the TNT block. Prime TNT. Why is there an issue here in this one? Oh, wait, it's referencing to there. So right here, these aren't being called. So if I say, let's make sure that they're calling this basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to look up prime TNT. So it's used in all these sections, and we're going to basically say prime mod TNT, prime mod TNT. This is going to be prime mod TNT. This is going to be, this isn't called TNT block though. This is called big TNT block dot prime. Yep, there we go. So that fixes that issue, sort of. Alright, let's look at these other issues. Actually, before we do that, let's fix all the other. So this is going to be mod TNT, and it's going to give me an issue because this is going to be called big TNT block. Fix that issue. Mod TNT, because this is going to be called big TNT block. Mod. There we go. Mod TNT, because this is coming from big TNT block. Alright, so far little issues. Prime TNT, this is going to be mod TNT, because this is big TNT block. Okay, oop, there we go. One issue left. And hopefully it's this one. Huh. So we're going to do mod TNT, because this is big TNT block. Alright, right now that is taking away all the issues. Good. So now we're going to look at, because there's no issues in here, and we're going to look at the mod TNT entity. It says that this one isn't being called, but everything float. Let's say this is going to be 40. Can I do that? Is that too big for a float? I forgot what the number is for floats. Float. It doesn't tell me. If I hover over float, will it tell me? No. Okay, can I do this? Oh, wait. So this is float 4, right? Power 40. And I want to make this float 4 as well. I just realized a mistake. I actually have to go to mod blocks, and I need to remember what I said about the thing where I have to add a block. Because this is a completely new block. Control C. Control V. We're going to call this big TNT block. Big TNT block. And, well, you can only imagine this would be big TNT block. Does it break anything? No. Alright. So this should have absolutely no texture to it, so it's going to look a little odd. We're just going to see what happens when I make that 40. Is it going to crash the game? I would probably imagine that it might. I remember trying a very long time ago to look at TNT, and it's because I was going to do that with the... Actually, if I get this working, I might actually change the end crystal block. That'd be really cool. Anyways. What am I looking for? Creative. Here. Boom. Let's look for the untextured TNT block. Alright, and let's see if a flint and steel does anything. It does. And that looked pretty regular, because it looks like it summoned a regular... Because that just looks like a regular prime TNT. Because if I did... Let's compare that with what I was thinking in my brain. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to /summon creeper, and it's going to have, I believe this is where now I do the MPT. So let's say it's got fuse 80, explosion radius of 40. Did that not? Oh, because it's a creeper, lol. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So I forgot. I summoned a creeper, which means it has to be fuse set. I could have used a flint and steel, but I decided to be a little more dangerous and go into survival. So it seems that it did not work. 40 is a large number, but you can also tell the massive difference between the two of them. So it didn't work. Let's take a look as to why it may not have worked. So big TNT, right? All right. TNT. So it's called. Trying to think. Alright, let's try and read basically the whole thing at once. Actually, this could be normal. I just have to click project and yeah. Alright. So basically, which extends this. Stable, big block boy. Big block settings for the boy. Alright, add block. I'm just looking to see if basically big block TNT makes mod TNT, right? And why did it summon just a regular unstable thing? Why is this yellow? I don't know. On break, that's not what I'm looking for. Destroyed by explosion. TNT entity, it may have been this. If I said mod TNT entity equals mod TNT entity, new hmm. Well, well, that's that right there in itself is a problem. I don't know if that would fix it. I fear that this would be the local variable, wouldn't it? Oh, wait, no, this is the entity. Because the entity is called mod TNT entity, but it summons a... So just say TNT entity. All I did was make it static, or did it return void? Okay, then what's wrong with you? Spawn entity. Oh, this is gonna be annoying. If I said mod TNT entity. Hmm. Wait, is that it? Alright, let's change all these to mod TNT entity. Mod TNT entity. This will create a new mod TNT entity. This would be, which claims this one, which is good. The only thing I don't understand is this. Clay vocal. Am I missing a variable? Hmm. Get fuse, set fuse, spawn entity. I don't know why it wants to make this static because it gets used here in this dot. I mean, it gets used more than once. Get fuse, set fuse, get fuse. Mod TNT entity. Because that's just supposed to be that, basically. Let me read this and make sure that everything in here is fine. This right here might be the issue. Entity type, yeah. Because it's summoned a regular entity type, right? So if I had this, I would need to make a mod entity type, which would take care of that. Can I do that? Okay, where is this? What is this being done? Entity. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can do that. So here we have the Minecraft entities, right? So if I have this Java class, and here we're going to be adding a EO mod ENTIT TY type. Which adds all that stuff. And when I look at entity type, I'll probably have to look at the bottom because I'm going to need to add basically this. Oh, geez, are you serious? All right, let's see if I can do basically that without everything. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh no, is there an error? If there's an error, I don't really know how to fix this. So sometimes there, okay, I'll see what happens if I don't put in this one. So here's all this private stuff, Control C, right? And we're gonna have to go into mod entity type. I'm gonna put all that in there. Yeah, it's gonna create a lot of issues. Logger. .warn. All right, back at the top, basically. I want to basically take a entity type, because, not this, entity type, TNT, boop, Control C, mod entity type, Control V. Okay, this would be mod entity type, boop, dot register TNT entity type, dot builder. This might be wrong to do this. Oop, no, I definitely just messed it up. Mod entity type, builder, create mod TNT entity. I don't need this constructor, I just need it to take that one. Oh, right here. Mod entity type. And this would be, let's call this hold on, big TNT. And do this in the mod entity type. Is the name in here? No, this is going to be called big TNT. And it's purple because it's being used somewhere. Big TNT. That in itself doesn't really have that many issues. We can try and see what we can do about this stuff. So here we're going to do mod entity type, which is going to be mod entity type dot. I don't have an entity factory, but you can see how that's starting to sort of get rid of issues. I hate it when there's a T thing. Alright, overall, let's say all I need is the registry, basically. So as long as it's registered, it should be fine. See how it's like registry entry, registry entry. What's up with this? Insert super. I don't know if I can fix that. I also have to see what the T is up with, or what's up with the T. Set dimensions. I don't think I need to do any of these. Alright, actually, still, if we look at this, the only thing that's off is this new, because it needs to have that create. So mod entity builder dot create. So if we go to entity type, the actual list, go to Control F, and we're gonna look at our create, create. Oh jeez. right in here basically. Control C, mod entity type, mod entity type. it's hard from this point to tell what I still do and don't need. Alright, so here we have the register. So let's put it right after the register. Does it have that create now on it? Builder.create, no. See, this is what I mean by entities always give me an issue. I could try and change all these to mod entity and see what happens. My issue at this point is the T. I'm not too sure what that T is. Can't find direct declaration to go to. Well, if that's the case, why don't we, oh wait, it's create, I actually need that. Why is it okay in here? You have a declaration to go to. Where? At the top? And the logger? And all this? You know what I think I forgot to do? It was a very important step. Basically all that. I forgot to put that in. Ah, geez, hold on. Let me take a mod entity type. Let's delete this, right? Because that was just horrible to look at. So this is in Minecraft.entity, and this is called entity type.java. Sometimes, what I like to do is we'll go into here, Minecraft, entity, and we're looking for that entity type, basically. Right here. Right, so let's just control all this. So let's bring it to the top where my mod is, right? Entity, right? And we're going to call this mod entity type. We're just going to write in here. And we're going to see what happens. It's updating references. Boom. And lo and behold, what do you know? We have 135 issues. How are these still being used? Where are they being called? Mod entity type. Alright. The TNT. Oh, wait, that's minecart. Yeah, still. The TNT isn't even being used. So we're going to have about 135 issues concerning mainly this. Method. Wait, what was that? Method reference. Doing variables. Alright, so let's. It added everything. This is probably how I should have started this. Already. Create entry. That didn't do anything. Alright. This get method. Where is this being used? It says no uses. Register. I definitely know that's going to be used. Alright. Is there anything in here that's not being used? Well, there's some stuff in here that should be being used but isn't being used. ID that this, which is because the get ID isn't working. If we look at the get ID, oh, that reminds me. If I look in my folder here, yeah, because it didn't add the other things too. If I go in here, is it going to do the, I think I know what the issue may be. Because it says implements. Here we go. There's all that. Implements type filter entity. And one thing that I noticed is that we're missing some things. Because we have entity type, right? And then there's two things. The builder, which if I, oh geez, that's not a good sign. Alright, if I control F and then get ID, yep, it's in this one. So we definitely need the builder class. Let's see what this is registered under. So this is Oh, wait. You're in here. Control F, get ID. Wait, so what do you do as the builder? Because it's just dragging me to entity type, and then the implement. My biggest issue is fixed, which was the T. There's 135 issues, and most of it, as you can see, is just the calling. So, for now, let's start getting rid of some stuff we don't need. just because. Player, no. Fishing bobber. Well, we don't need any of that. We're basically just doing the TNT for now. And if I want to do extra stuff beyond that, we'll focus on that later. Boom. All we're focusing on is this. And we have now 33 issues. Alright, so this is going to be called Big TNT. One related problem already. Working on it. Alright, mod entity type, which this is going to be called Big TNT. And why can't this create mod TNT entity? I don't understand this. New, create constructor. I don't think a super is going to fix this one. No, because, well, it should be up here. It's probably this one. It's just not taking it. I don't know why. Cannot be performed. Is a read-only container. Registry dot mod entity type. I think that's the issue here. Oh, and I remember doing this for the fluid key. I think I do actually have a mod registry. Um, let me take a look at that. World util. It would probably be here. Mod registries. Nope. Definitely not. Uh, I think it was something I was working on, but then I couldn't figure it out. Shoot. All right. Custom big TNT block. Let's delete this for a moment. Let's go in our entity class. All right. So that, personally, I don't think that one's getting pretty in depth. Um, that was on the lower scale. That's just things I wanted to look at. Anyways, let's take a look at. So I'm gonna move this one. Control C. I do this all the time, and then I move harder things or things I'll be looking at later into that. So I wasn't able to figure that one out. I did notice a difference. There was some things I was able to fix and things I wasn't, but I don't think I have the intellectual strength at this moment to try and getting there. I'm curious about the cobweb actually. So let's take a look at the cobweb. So let's go. Let's basically shift blocks. Oh wait, no, that was block.java. Anyways, we can go in here. Blocks, and this would be called cobweb block. Uh, Cobweb block. Entity on collision, and then this just slows down your speed. Interesting. Can I see where this is in the Minecraft blocks.java? Right here. No collision. Materials at cobweb. What I was trying to think of is so I tried to make Quicksand a while ago, and the thing is, you need to be in the block, but like at the same time. I'm not too sure. Let's see what I can do. So here, if I go in my mod blocks, we're going to reset this whole thing, just like that, alright? Blocks, mod blocks. Let's look at my, because it should be in here. If I look at my Quicksand, should be, this was called a mod powder snow block because, well, that's what it was. Let's move this to a cobweb block for a moment and make sure that nothing critical, which it did, cannot, oh, that's something else. Boop. Because we're ignoring that. Alright, Quicksand. This is going to be that, right? And then sort of, because what we're going to need to do is go into here, custom. Okay, so we're going to make a mod cobweb block. For now, that's what we're going to call it. This is going to extend cobweb block, constructor matching super. And then if I go back into the cobweb block, all I would have to do is override. Put in this override. That's really it. So that's the cobweb block. I need the, not this, not this, not this. Nope. 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 There it is. Alright, so this is the movement scale, right? And then we have this, right? So this is going to now be taking the mod cobweb block. This is going to be abstract block materials dot. I think this is talking about like how you break it though. Sounds. I don't know. Let's see what happens. I think it's talking about the fragileness of it, like the being able to break it and stuff. Um, could be wrong. Could very well be wrong. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've tried to even look at the Quicksand. Alright. So let's slash clear. Oop, caps. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to try and look at our Quicksand. It's... Huh. There we go. So it makes the sounds of it, right? But it... Whoa, when it says on collision... Nope. Alright. So if that's the case, material, let's say material of material dot cobweb. Let's completely ignore this. Dot breaks instantly. Block vision. That's odd. I remember seeing that and it was just annoying. Strength. Air. Allow spawning. Drops like. Non-collision. We're gonna try and do the this powder snow for a second. Because now it has the no collision. So is that what it needed for the no collision? And if it is no collision, will it let me collide with it and then suffocate me? Because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to suffocate myself. Slowly. Very slowly. But I need to collide with it. So I need it to basically suck me in, let me fall down, and basically see where that takes us. Alright, so it does slow down my speed. Oh. Okay. No! It doesn't suffocate me. Alright, so now let's say material of dot. Let's say sand. No, not sand. Can I say material dot gravel? Material dot woodstone, plant, grass, vegetation, air. I think you can suffocate in leaves. Let's see. I don't know. Will it still let me collide with it? And will it suffocate me? Please. I know it sounds awful, but I'm just looking to die. So it's non-collision, right? Oh, I mean, yeah. Oh, it's real slow, too. And the fact that you can't see inside it either. I think I need to basically put a thing where it's like, when you're in it, does the cobweb stop expand block? Extend, no. Well, but this in itself expands block, right? So does that mean I can put things in here where it's like, okay, what is something, when I'm in it, I get hurt, basically. Oop, that's for read only. I want this one. Let's take a look in here. Oh, wait, sand. So let me look at, is it something in sand that it says, though? Shift. Huh. Sand, oh. Falling block. Schedule tick. Spawn from block. Can't fall through. That might be this, lol. Can fall through. Oh, I think this is saying this could fall through fire when the state is air. Okay, so this can fall through air, fire, liquid, and material that is replaceable. Okay, fall to light 2, configure fall entity. I sort of have a different idea. So now if I look at, let's look at my salt, the salt block, right? Control F, oop, salt block. So now if I say dot no collision, because this would be part of falling block. Oh wait, I'm not even editing this anymore. It's the salt that I'm testing. Which actually, you can click on this. Oh, it can't fall through itself. And it also doesn't hurt me. Oh. Why? Why, oh why? Alright, so let's make this a collision block again, because that was silly not to. I don't understand what's damaging you. I mean, that's the thing though, right? Because if the thing is, like, if I keep hitting E when I'm in, if I have sand, right? I need it to be, okay, so I think the fact that when something is non-collidable, let's restart this, and this'll prove my method. If something is non-collidable, it'll suffocate you because it's a falling block because you're not supposed to collide with it, and that's what's causing the suffocation. But I need it to be collidable because I need you to fall in it, if that makes sense. Or like walk into it, not be able to get out. Oop. Alright, suffocated in a wall. Anyways. Am I close to here? Yes. So this should be the same for basically this. Where if I am in a hole and I fall, yep, it does the same thing. It's because it's a non-collision block that it... So how do I get in it if it's non-collision? I'm gonna look at something real quick. So if I do, we're gonna be looking at the powder snow. Powder snow block. The reason why you can do that on here is because it's got this entity dot set in powder snow. Should escape powder snow, something like that. This can freeze. This is or was in powder snow. This can freeze. Oh. Oh no. This is in an entity file. not the actual. Freeze. Set in powder snow. Shoot, I think that means I can't, because if it's in an entity, I can't make a, like, I could make a mod entity, but that means I can't change something that's already Minecraft and that's already implemented in the game, okay? So it looks like I can't seem to do that one either. Alright, so okay, so that was basically that. The cobweb. I mean, I could make a cobweb. I'm not too sure. I just wanted to do the cobweb because I thought it would be another idea to do that. I could try and redo these, which I know these say cloth on them, but then I was like, I need an idea for what to do with cloth. I forgot. There was a reason I wanted to add it, and then there was a reason that I forgot to add it. Isn't that silly? That's so silly. Anyways, what I ended up actually what I was thinking about doing was basically making more color types, and the idea came from where if I go onto this, and I can look up wool. If I look up wool and go to the very bottom when it was first added, because I should have a thing on here, because here's all the wool types. There's all that, all this. It was, yeah, right. Oop. Ads are just so large. Okay, in here. And then I should have in classic 0.0.20a here, stop, right now. Here were all the types of cloth that they were thinking about adding, because it was originally called cloth, and I looked at this and I said, ooh, these are some actual pretty colors. So I looked at, I was comparing them to Minecraft, what we do and don't have, and I was thinking about re-adding the other ones. So basically, these ones that are not tabbed are the ones that could be squeezed in, because cyan is already in the game. Capri is light blue, it already exists. And that's why I literally wrote light blue, because they are the same, but it was called Capri at the time. But I need something that just fits with everything, so I need like something in between magenta and red, and that's going to be rose. So, ooh, I guess we can try and do that. Alright. Huh. So one thing I wanted to look at, let's look at the red and magenta. Let's do the rose one first, because I think that one's going to be easiest. So we're going to discard and discard this. And what we're going to do is we're going to do go in here, assets, Minecraft, textures, block, and then we're going to look up wool. There's all these types of wool. We're going to be adding red wool. And then we're going to add another one, a new 16 by 16. Actually, it doesn't matter about the background because, okay, anyways. And then the other one we're going to be adding is called Magenta. And we need something in between here, and we're going to call it Rose. So 16 by 16, that's fine. So looking at these textures, if I basically look at this, let's do the 45. Boom. Boom. And then here. 45. We can just, and we're going to do it again with this one. Boom. Boom. Because this is basically like the perfect block scale. So here, what I'm going to do, we basically have this color, and we basically need it. Whoa, that was odd. It like shifted my whole thing. I need to find a value in between this and this. So to do that, we can look at the RGB, right? So let's actually make a little. Let's grab ourselves notepad. All right, and we're also going to grab ourselves a calculator, and I'm going to try and average out the RGB scales. So let's start with the red, right? So we're going to go in here, and in here we have, not Minecraft, Notepad, new. All right, so we have basically it's 58.4, 13.3, and 12.9. And we're going to hit OK. And then we're going to look at the other one real quick, which is we have 69.4. Then we have 22.0. And then we have 65.5. All right, and then we're just going to average them. So we just go into here and we do 58.4 plus 69.4 divided by 2. We're going to basically make a color which is going to be 63.9. All right, change. All right, let's do the one. All right, so if we do 13.3 plus 22 divided by 0, or divided by 2, is going to be 17.6. I'm going to tag that because it's 6.5. 12.9 plus 17 point. Oh wait, no. Wow, that's the big difference. 12.9 plus 65.5. Boop. Divided by 2. Okay, and this is going to be 39.2. Alright, let's keep that as that. So let's put these in now. So now we have, is this going to do it like this? Alright, is this less going to be 4? No, this is going to be 63.9. This one is going to be 17.6. And this last one is going to be 39.2. And that is a very rose color. So now, if I basically put this in like this, this is the color we want that scale to be. I'm trying to think. Now, how do I change basically this into that? So let's see if I can, if I go color balance, and I go to hue chroma, because this will make it red, right? Yeah, this will basically do that. I want to find a color that's most closely associated with that rose color we were dealing with. Looks like we're pretty much getting there. Let's stop at 20 for a moment. Let's switch the difference. Grab this color, and this is we're going to get a little specific here for a moment. So we're going to add this, and then our little notepad, because this is the number, we already have that number. We basically are trying to get as close to this as possible. So we have the 77.3, and if I make this color, Q chroma, there we go. Alright, I need to remember what I'm doing. So if I do color, hue chroma, and I think I went up 10, right? So that was that one, right? So if I do 15, right? Okay. If I do, boop, I click on this, is this closer or further? I think it's actually further. I can't seem to find all my stuff. Do I need a calculator? No. I just need my notes. And I need my notes to stay put. I think the biggest number that I probably should be looking at is this 54. So here we're going to do, so this is 54.9, right? We're going to do the same thing. Colors, hue chroma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm just going to click on this. This is 40, so now this is, okay, 62. Alright. Colors, hue chroma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Now it's at 58, which is actually closer to this 39. So now if I Control Z, and I mean, I could just kind of find a really good number. That would probably be a lot easier. Color, tempera, hue, chroma. We want it to basically be this rose color, though. Control Z. Alright, I think I'm going to try and call it the best I can. That's what I'm going to do. Because that, honestly, what I'm doing is a little difficult. It's just being a pain. Ooh, my brain is having a hard time with this one. 40. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. Haha, my goodness. Alright. Colors, hue, chroma. Let's do 35. This is really close. Alright, I think this is the color I'm going to be doing. So basically, this is going to be rose. Alright, export as. We're going to call this rose wool. Pictures. Perfect. So the rose. Alright, and then we're going to, and then I'm going to do a little bit more difficult, sort of. Alright, so the reason why that one was the easiest was because it just mixed between two that already exist. These next ones are going to be a little bit harder. So let's kind of separate them out a little bit so that you can kind of tell the difference between them. And then basically this was just going to be like a... So basically we have like the red wool. So there we had to do like a 50-50 between the two, but here we have to do third marks between two. And we're going to see where that goes. So first... let's open up our files. We have our wool. We're going to be looking at light blue. And I believe the other one is purple. Let's check out my notes first. No, not this one. This one. Light blue and purple. Yep. Let's add that again because it didn't put straight, which means I'd be looking at two different pixels. Perfect. Let's start with this one. Boop. Alright, this one is 17.3, 60.8, and then we have 81.2, and then let's grab the purple pixel. This is 42.4, this is 13.7, and then 63.5. Alright, and this one, the math is going to be a little bit different. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take that, this is the lower number, right? So between the two of them, so we have the 7, okay, so we're to 42, 2.4 minus 17.3, boom, like that. And then I'm going to divide into 3 segments, which is 8.36. So let's say we have the 8.36, right? So let's remember that for a moment. So we're going to do 17.3 plus 8.6, boom. And this should be 29.9, and the other one should be plus 8.6, which is 34.5, and then if I do it one more time, plus 8.6, it should be really close to this. Now it is not exactly there. It seems that is off, so let's try that again. 17.3, and we're going to do plus 8.5, boom, 25.8, and then plus 8.5 equals 34.3, plus 8.5, which is even closer. I think if I do it, okay, so this one would have been really close. All right, let's try it 8.4 and see where that gets us. So we have 17.3 plus 8.4, which is by 7, plus 8.4, which is 3.1, and then plus 8.4, which is 42.5. Okay, so that one was even closer, so 42.5. We're going to leave this as 1, delete, and then we're going to make this one 7. So now we basically have that first number for both of them. Those are our even blend numbers. Alright, let's work on the second one. This one's going to go the other direction. So we have 60.8, right? And we're going to subtract that from the 13.7. And then we're going to divide that into 3. So we have 15.7, right? So we have 13.7 plus 15.7 equals, right here, I have to make sure I'm going in the right direction. This one's going to be 29.4 plus 15.7. It's going to equal 45.1. Lastly, plus 15.7 equals 60.8. So that one's perfect because it actually divided by 3 perfectly. This last one, 81.2 minus 63.5 divided by 3 is 5.9. So if I did 63.5 plus 5.9 is 69.4, and we're going to add 5.9. This is going to be 75.3 plus 5.9, and this one, once again, perfect number, so that's basically what it is. So now here we have our color scale. So let's look at what the colors we basically want to look at. So now let's try and make a 25.7, and then we're going to do a 45.1, and then lastly a 75.3. So we have this color. I was gonna say, can I have like multiple tabs and look at them both? I basically want to like size up this color as like big as possible. Oh, that's definitely gonna. Well, okay, now it seems that doing this helps. Odd, but if it works, it works. Alright, so this is the color we're trying to match here. So here, let's start with this one. Let's go to colors, hue chroma. Let's start going up. I need the other hue chroma. Let's put that over here. Let's put this on top. We basically want this pixel to match. Oh, you are so annoying. It doesn't want me to. Well, howdy. I am currently making new wool types. So that, I believe, is in the wrong direction. And that makes it more green. Does this make it? Where does it go? Where does it go purple though? Because I think this is on like a whole different RGB scale. I didn't even see purple at all. I mean, this is probably as close as you're gonna get, but I'm not liking this too much. Let's see if I can find. Rather, let's go into colors. No, not balance. Let's go to colors, hue chroma. Let me see if I can find one in here. Well, that definitely makes it green. Alright, so let's go to the blues. Because here we actually have a deeper blue. Let's make the chroma. I think that's pretty close. What color is this supposed to be called? This is supposed to be called ultramarine. I think there's something I can definitely fix to help make it look definitely not there. This takes away the detailed lighting. I do need it to be lighter while also increasing the chroma, I guess. Hmm. I feel like that's more of a like a, yeah, that's kind of like an ocean color. All right, let's call this one what it was called, which was ultra ultramarine, which is one color basically. Cancel. All right, so that's going to be the ultramarine. And then we basically want to make another color, but this one is going to be based off of these ones. So it's going to be 34.1, 29.4, and then we have lastly 69.4. I'm going to control Z, and we want it to look like this color. Let's see how good we can do. Already? I don't actually have to move it that much. 10. You know what? Just where it is, I think that's perfectly fine. This is like a violet color. So if I export this cancel, file, export as, this is going to be VIOLET, violet. Export. Alright, so now we have violet. The other two I want to be working on, other than those, so they have lime, and there's green, and spring green. Hmm. Lime and cyan. All right, let's add the let's add those. Lime. The other one is cyan. There we go. All right. So before these, let's try and get that uh, specific color. Oh, it's written up here. I think this just needs a little tiny bit more space. All right, so we have, this is a 39.6, 68.6, and then a 9.4. All right, so let's grab the other color. Come in here, take that, and then we get the other ones. So now we have, this is in 8.2, 49.4, and then 54.5. All right, and then we have to do their averages. Calculator. All right, so we have 39.6 plus 8.2 divided by 3. Okay, so this is going to be like 15.9, so we have 8.2 plus 15.9. That would, okay, 8.2 plus 15.9. So here we have 24.1, and then we're to add plus 15. No, I did the same thing again. 15.1. Was it 15.1? No, it wasn't. Plus 0.7. 39.9. Plus, I think it was 15.9. Just 55. I messed that up badly. Okay, hold on. Let me try that again because I messed that up in two parts. So we're just doing the top numbers. 39.6 plus 8.2 is 47.8 divided by 3 is 15.9. So 8.2 plus 15.9 is 24.1 plus 15.9. Am I am I am I on drugs? Oh, I know what I did wrong. Yeah, that makes so much more sense now. Okay, so you're supposed to take the subtract the first one. Okay, so 39.6 minus 8.2. Then with that 31.4, you divide that number by 3. 10.4. Maybe 10.5. So if I have 8.2 plus 10, what was it? 10.4. Oh my goodness. 10.4, which is 18.6. I'm going to write that down because I can't remember anything. If I hit equals again, yeah, let's say 29. And then 39.4, which is really close. All right, let's do it again. So this is going to be 68.6 minus 49.4. Oop, 0.4 is 19.2 divided by 3 equals 6.4. Awesome. I like it when they're even like that. So 6.4, 6.4, 6.4, 49.4 plus 6.4. That's wrong. 49.4 plus 6.4. So this is going to equal 55.8. 62.2, and then that should be 68.6, perfect. And then we have 54.5 plus 9.4 divided by 3 is 21.3. All right, so we have 21.3. 9.4 plus 21.3 equals this last one, which is going to be 30.7. If I hit equals again, it should give me my 52. Did I must have messed this up again. Did I not subtract them? 54.5 minus 9.4 equals 40 divided by 3. I did not. 15. So 9.4 plus 15 is 24.4, 39.4, and then 54.5. All right. So according to our, this basically, we're going to make, I'm going to call this one new green, and then the other one's going to be called spring green. So let's try and make the new green first. So basically, to find the new color, we have, it's 29, 62.2, and then the last one is 24.4. Okay, let me take a peek at it. That's the color we're going to be trying to make. Let's go into colors. Colors. Hue chroma. And we're trying to basically replicate that color. I'm trying to ignore this one, and I'm trying to compare these two. My brain's making it really difficult. But these two are starting to look really similar, actually. Yeah, and that's too much. So if I just go back to, what was it, 15? I mean, that's pretty close. How close does it look to that? I mean, yeah, that's pretty close to that one. All right, so we're gonna call this file. Oh, file, export as. This is gonna be called new green. Export. All right, and then we're gonna control Z because now we need to do. We're gonna try and do the other one, which is 18.6, 55.8, and then 39.4. If I hit OK, it makes this a lot more easily visible. All right, so let's file. Oh wait, no, colors. Let's do the Q chroma. Now let's go to 30. Yeah, somehow because I just made it 15, I figured that 30 would be a good number. Ooh, what if I make this a little darker? What will that do? Okay, maybe not that dark. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty pretty spring green. So file, oop, file, export as, and then you're going to be called SPR spring green. Oop. Export. All right. So now, all I would need to do is make, so we have the wool types. So basically we have these four basically new wool types. So let's add them into the games. Right. So we're gonna go in block, mod blocks. Ore generation, flower generation, crop, obtain from crafting. I mean, yes, but I might actually put it under flower generation just because I want to. All right, let's copy the snow bricks for a second. Control C. All right, so let's go into flower generation. Control V. All right, so now this is going to be boop. This is going to be wool. And we're going to call this underscore wool. This is a block, abstract block, material of wool, strength. I believe if I don't put in a strength modifier, does it do anything? Let's say wool requires tool. Absolutely not. Let's say dot strength is going to be dot. Okay, maybe if I don't put in a strength, maybe it doesn't like. Ooh, look at 202 issues solved. All right, so let's duplicate this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. All right, so the 4 types that I added, we added rose, ultra marine. Then we have new green, and then we have SP spring green. All right, so let's add those back into here. So we have rose, and then here we have ultra marine wool. Then here we're gonna have new green wool, and then SPR spring green wool. All right, so these aren't used in any way yet. We have to add them in, and then we're also going to have to make dye types, which I'm going to put that in between these two, which is why I put it here. Actually, no, I can't put them here because they have to go in items. I should realize that. And I think I already made dye types. Maybe? No, I haven't. Now that I think about it, I have not. Anyways, let's go. All right. There we go. Block states. Or sure. Okay, and then we're gonna have rose wool. Then we're gonna have rose wool. All right, and then we're gonna. I had an idea, but then I realized that's not gonna work. So that was rose wool, and then we have to make ultra ultramarine wool. Ultramarine wool. And then here we're gonna have new green wool. New green wool. And then lastly, we're gonna have SP spring green wool. Alright, that's all the block states, lang files. It'd be above the ors. Here it is. So not Woolsbane. Here we would have rose wool. Here it's going to be called rose wool. Alright, and then we have ultramarine wool. Marine wool. We're going to have new green wool, which is going to become new green wool. And then we're going to have spring green wool. Spring green wool. Alright, and then we got to do the models, block models. Rose wool. Right. Ultramarine wool. Ultramarine wool, and it's actually lost its squigglies. Apparently, I didn't even know that ultramarine. Like, I understand it being a color, but the fact that it's it's recognizable by the dictionary. I didn't know. I didn't know that was an actual like official color. Anyways, new green wool. New green wool, and then lastly we have spring green wool. There was that, and then I need the items and then the actual textures. Item, so here is rose wool. That's for items. Rose wool. All right. Here we're gonna have new spring green wool. Boom. All right. All right, so that's all the wools, the items, and then all it needs is the textures, which actually I think I only called the one of them correctly. Let's go into our pictures. So the rose wool is fine. Let's click on this. Let's rename all of them. So this is new green wool. Perfect. I forgot the violet. Shoot. Okay, we'll do that one in a second. All right, rename wool. Rename wool. Rename wool. So we have this wool, 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 wool. All right, let's add in the violet real quick. So let's go into here, block, mod blocks. All right, Control D, VIOLET, violet wool. Here we can type VIOLET, violet wool. All right, block states. VIOLET, violet wool. All right, lang, Control D. It's going to be VIO, violet wool, spelled violet wool. Right, then we have the models, block models. Really easy stuff. Violet wool. VIO, violet. Violet wool. Violet wool. All right, let's take a look. Let's bring in the textures, block textures. They are not allowed to be full screen because as soon as I click on something else, it goes away. All right, let's put these in here. 3. All right. Bring these two in here. Perfect. Stop and return before we make the recipes and stuff. Which actually I need to make the custom dyes first. So we have to figure that out, that situation out real quick. So we're checking out the new dye, or new wools actually. Let's make sure that everything was perfectly fine. We're going to type in wool. That one didn't go through. Or at least all the way anyways. New green. Because that's the item model. Fine, fine, good. Nope. Wow, you really messed up. Spring green wool. How did I... Oh, I think that means I messed up the block texture. Okay, let's go in here. Spring green wool. Alright, so that should fix it because the reason why the item was messed up is because the item takes from the parent block, and this is the parent block, so which takes yet another parent, the parent that comes from the texture, and which is the block cube all, meaning the same texture, it's just slapped on all 6 sides. Hopefully that fixed it. Perfect, perfect. So now it's looking handy dandy beautiful. Alright, so now if I look at me custom flowers real quick, we have conveniently some flowers. So here, these are going to have their own wool types now. So you're going to make this one. You're going to make, perhaps, maybe. You're going to make this one, that's for sure. Discolorations are still all there. And then we're going to figure out what is making this green wool and spring green wool. Because what we do know is we have lime wool, right? And then we have cyan wool. So we basically have lime, new green, spring green, cyan. And then at least with these, we have the lime, which is a mixture of white and green. So, oop. I messed it up. Alright, and then here we have cyan, which is also used for actually cactus green. I'm having a brain moment. And lapis, so we just have regular blue dye. So this makes cyan. DYE. I want to basically unlock all the recipes so I can look it up real quick. Something that gets my attention to how I'm going to be doing this. Oop, didn't mean that. Let's look at all this. Color mixtures like that. And they're all going to basically have their own dyes, right? So so basically if I said if you mixed if I said 2 limes in a green, that could make this one. So CHEST, chest. Alright, so if I basically said lime, if I said 2 limes and a green, you could make this one. And then for this one, I could say mix, let's say seeds. You're going to be that new color. So basically seeds and cyan, right? Makes this color, basically, if I mix these two. Or I mean, this one is very unique, and I feel like the 2 limes and the green really does make this new green. Or I could just make an entirely new flower. I don't really know any green flowers off the top of my head. But we have all these, and we're actually going to try and make, so if I look up dye, right, actually better yet to do it in the creative mode, dye, you'll notice that they all basically have their own similar, actually no, these ones are lame. Most of them have their own similar things. I'm going to do something to kind of change it, I guess. Like, I could put this one upside down, or like, something like that. I'm going to kind of be lazy about it. But what we need to do is get these textures in. So basically we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5. Because I said make 4, right? I think I added 5. I think these are the 5 I added. Alright, anyways. Alright, I think that's kind of how I'm going to do that. I'm just going to dye in the cyan, maybe. So far, I guess. Wolfsbane is going to make violet dye. Alright, so let's try and get into how the dye is going to work. So we have basically... Ooh. Interesting resolution change just from like one slight thing. Alright, so let's go back in again. And we're going to... Alright, so we're going to file, new, 16 by 16. Make sure that this is transparency. Okay. Alright. So let us, what is a good dye? So obviously the violet one has to be different from the purple one. The rose one has to be different. So we're basically making a new one of these, but that's just boring. I like these textures. I think this is okay if I like turn it. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so these are the ones I'm going to take. Cancel. Alright, so let's close out of this. I don't need that because it's already in the game. And I can close out of that. Alright, so let's grab those dyes real quick. We're going to grab this. So dyes would be in assets, Minecraft, textures, and items. Item, and then we're going to type in dye. There we go. From here, we're going to open up our GIMP. We don't need this open. I keep opening it up, so we're going to close it. Even though the stream's on the other one, so I'm probably going to close out of that too. Alright, so let's see. I want to do brown dye. We also need to add all of the, do we actually? Yes. Unless, hold on, let's, image, color management, mode, grayscale. So let's basically turn this into this, right? Okay, reset, cancel. Control A, Control C. No. Control A, Control C, file, new, 16 by 16. We're going to do this, transparency, okay, and then I'm going to Control V. If I make sure image, mode, RGB, perfect. So now it's in RGB, right? So now if I do image, color balance, nope, Q chroma, I can add colors to you, right? Ooh, you didn't do anything, did you? You're so annoying. Maybe. I don't know. Hold on. Reset. Chrome all the way up. Okay, so it's automatically green. That's good, I guess. All right. So basically, that's fine, I guess. Okay, and then I'm just gonna control image. Actually, that's pretty fine where it is. All right, so let's say that you export as you're gonna be the new caps new green dye. Let's take a look at the. I keep hitting the wrong one. Cancel. Control A. Delete. All right. Let's cancel. Okay. Let's bring in black dye. Seems that something without color can't actually be colored. I believe this is the rose color. Well, that doesn't help me. At least not a lot, anyways. All right, let's not have that on because that's just gonna confuse me. All right, so let's. Oh, oh, you're a pain. You could have done it the whole time. You're a pretty rosy color. File, export as, and you're gonna be rose dye. So that's two. So we have. Let's open a new one. So we have new green and rose dye. So then we have spring green, and then this is cyan. Image mode. All right. Let's grab white dye. Boop. And we're going to change this one into the spring green color. So let's go to colors, color balance. Actually, this has a lot of blues in it. So let's, hold on, Control A, Control C, Control V. Okay, so hold on. This is the color, we're basically just taking all the blue out of it by doing that. And then let's get rid of the overlay that it had. All right, Control A, Control C, Control V. Perfect. So now it'll be easier to, and then if I do select image mode, make sure it's an RGB, perfect. Colors, hue chroma, and then we're going to try and give it that green. Oh, chroma's got to be increased, basically. We're gonna do. All right, so now we know we have a range here. Yellow, green. All right, we're starting to get into spring green colors. We can turn down that chroma. I think that's good. File, export as, spring, spring, green, dye, spring green dye. Export. Okay. All right, so now if I look in here, we have 3 of these. So we need 2 more. We need the green, green, blue, blue. Maybe? Did I add 5? How many did I add? Because honestly, my brain is having like an absolute, like, I have no idea how many I added. Mod blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's just violet and ultramarine. That's it. Okay. Violet and ultramarine. My goodness. Alright, let's grab one. Alright, so we need violet and ultramarine. Which ones have I made? I used a lapis, black. Alright, so I could still use the rose. And orange. Let's have you Control A, delete. All right, let's have the red one. I stopped clicking the wrong tabs. Let's have the red one be the ultramarine. Control A, Control C, Control Z. All right, Control V. All right, now we have the red dye in here, and we're gonna change it that ultramarine color. I'm not gonna even look for it. I probably should. It's actually up here, so we want it to be as close to this color as possible. That's our basically our reference. All right, so we're at colors, hue chroma. Oh, that's right. Chroma's got to be up. We want it to get as close to that as possible. Honestly, we're basically there. Boom. There it is. All right, so export as. You're going to be called ultramarine dye. Export. Export. All right, and the last one I want to do is orange. So let's grab orange real quick. Grab in that orange dye. Let's move it down a little bit. Perfect. All right, Control A, Control C, Control V. All right, now you're in here. And you are going to be the violet one, which we can look that up in here. We want it to be as close to this color as possible. filters, colors, hue chroma, turn up the chroma, and let's see how purple can we get this thing. That's magenta, so let's come over here. Did I miss it? Somewhere in here, yeah, these 60s, 70s. Yeah, so let's come over here like 160, right? And let's turn perhaps the brightness down. Let's also turn down the chroma. Okay, let's put you at 75. It's definitely not it. 160. That's too light. It's way too light. I was trying to go down. Ooh, I feel like we're kind of getting there. Maybe. I think this is probably around the closest that I'm possibly gonna get. Alright, let's export. Actually, better yet. Okay, this could be a little interesting. Can I take a color from? No. Alright, no. Shoot. um, okay, let's go to, I don't know. This is probably as close as I'm gonna get. 164, chroma 100, and then we're gonna turn the lightness down to like -20. Yeah. Export, export as, this is gonna be violet dye. Export. Alright, let's add these to the game real quick. Do that. Items are actually a lot easier than blocks. Let's close all tabs just to recap. Close all tabs. Alright, mod items. Smelting, stonecutter, mob loot, crafting, minus seeds. Where would I put this? Special items? Maybe. Lockets. Those are others at the bottom. Spawnings. um. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna put this in special items for now. Sort of. No. Alright, I'll put it in crafting. Fine. Alright, I just need a regular item. Cone. You're a food item. No, you're not. Let's grab cloth. Control C, and then Control V. Alright, so now we have, oh, let's actually do underscore die. That's dash. I said underscore die. That's why my caps is on. Underscore die. So this is a fabric item. Yep, that's pretty much all it needs. All right, so we have rows. Yeah, let's just put them all in. Rows. Ultramarine. And we have new green. Then we have SPR. Spring green. Then we have VIOLET, violet dye. Back at the top, let's do it again. Rose, ultramarine, new green dye, spring green dye, and then violet dye. I was about to say violet green dye. Alright, so the items are now registered, technically. We just have to add in their attributes real quick. So they don't have a block state, but they do have a name, a model, and a texture. Alright, and I said I was going to put it in here, basically. So this is going to be underscore die, and then right here. Alright, so now we have rose dye, and then we have, well, no caps here, ultramarine dye, we have new green dye, new green dye, spring green dye, spring green dye, and then we have violet, no caps here, violet dye. I don't know why I keep trying to put W. It's not the first time I did that. Alright, so it's got that, and then we just need the item models, just like this. So now here is going to be, this is going to be rose dye, rose dye. This is going to be ultramarine dye, ultramarine dye. Alright, now we have new green dye, new green dye, and then we have spring green dye, spring dye, and then lastly we have violet. Oh, no, not violet green dye, violet dye. I said I was going to do it, and I ended up doing it. Violet dye. Alright, so now all the textures and, oh wait, no, we didn't actually do the textures. Item, and then we're going to do it, and then we're going to put in after refactor those three. This one makes me think of like a prismarine. Alright, here we are. Refactor, and then let's play. That one looks really cool. That one definitely looks like the flower at least. Oh, that one looks really nice. This is definitely one fine looking color. Alright. Alright, now let's look up dye. Alright. Got rose dye. This dye. Yeah, so all the dyes are properly in. Shoot, I probably shouldn't have done that. Item frame. Alright, and then, so yeah, this one, these three, these two, and then we have wool, these two. Which they don't have their own flowers, but they do have their own dyes. Awesome. So all I have to do is add the recipes to these. And these ones don't need recipes. But the other two do. Which I said this was going to be like that. And then this one was going to be this and cyan. Alright, alright, alright. Maybe. Maybe I'm going to have that be 2 limes and a cactus. And instead of it being cyan... No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright. Okay, let's... Oh, I'm trying to hit escape. I hit the wrong thing. That way I can still see them. From here... What do we need? Alright, we need loot tables. Oh, I know, we do need well, sort of. Let's fix that. Hold on. Let's do... Not recipes, but we have a red dye recipe, right? Rose. Oh yeah, this is called rose dye. And this is going to turn into, HMH 2. And it's going to be called rose dye. That one was really, really easy. Alright, and the other one. I'm going to say the other one gave me blue dye. I don't think I would have called it blue dye, but I wouldn't put it past me. Blue spider lily dye, which is now going to be HMH 2, ultra marine dye. And lastly, purple dye. Oh wait, no. If I called that one, that means that would be wolfsbane dye. Yep. In which now this is going to be HMH 2, violet dye. Big brain. Alright, so the only ones I need to make... Not like this. Amulet, basically, yeah. So let's go for an amulet style. Alright, so now we're going to make a new green. So here we're going to make a new green dye. And this is going to take Minecraft lime dye, lime dye, and then green dye. We're not going to need these two. And here we're going to get 3 of new green dye. That makes sense. And then just to make sure that the names are right, if I do lime. So it is called lime dye, and this is called green dye. Perfect. And then this one's going to need a new advancement, so we're gonna close that one for a moment. I need to keep this up because I'm going to be using it. All right, so let's do the other one. Okay, so this one's going to be called the other one. Spring green. Spring green. Spring green dye. Here's going to take 2. This is going to be making spring green dye. And what does it require? Just 2 things. Which is going to be Minecraft cyan dye, and also HMH2 new green dye. Alright, so now I just need to add the this miscellaneous. Are the other dyes in here? Decorations. Oh, the dyes are in here. Rose dye. Alright, so let's add the new green dye. So what do you put in your inventory that's going to get you basically the HMH2 new green dye? And this one I'm actually going to say is, because it's closer to lime, I'm going to say, oh wait, items. I can put more than one item, that's right. I can do this, Control D. And this is actually going to be Minecraft lime dye or Minecraft green dye. It doesn't matter as long as you get one of those 2. You should get the new green. HMH2 new green dye. Alright. So now we have the new green. And now we're going to have spring green dye. Spring green dye. Spring green dye. And this is either when you're going to get HMH2 new green dye or Minecraft cyan dye. If I'm correct, that's how it would work. So, not this one. Let's stop and return and make sure everything is now functioning. The 3 flowers that I made should give me the new dyes. And then I have to make the wool types. Because the dyes have to do something. Otherwise, well, that means I would have just made the dyes, which, that's not too bad. But I just want to make sure that this is working now. That's good. That's a good sign. That's because I had the lime dye on. Oh, and when I put the new lime dye, I should get the... Yeah. These are grouped. Oh, because it would be considered... Actually, I don't like that. Shoot. Because I know exactly what it would be put under. I don't want it in there. I do this every time and I forget about it. Recipes, because I took it from an amulet. It's going to be called group amulet. I don't want that. So I need to basically find those two dyes. So that's going to be... I gotta find that new green one first. And I have to go to the top. See, there's the amulet. Let's take the group out. New green dye, and then spring green dye. Take that amulet out. Right, that's that fixed. If I hit this, and I type in dye, I'll get the rose dye, the violet dye, and the... Oh, that one didn't go through. I didn't put in the... I know what I did. Alright. This one's not too bad. I have to scroll up. It's in the length file. So I put these under blocks, and these aren't blocks. These are items. So these are items that I shoved in between. Yeah. So does it say, it would just say item, yeah, because it doesn't have an item equals basically this. So that's properly in there now. So I guess the only thing now to do would be the wools and the actual recipes. So recipe, and we're gonna do the same thing, the acceleration, and this is going to be rose wool. This is gonna be when you get either Minecraft how do I do the, not item, but like tag? I could be wrong. I think it would be tag. And then is it like, would you put hashtag out of this? No. Hashtag Minecraft wool. Could be wrong. I might have to check something that does that. Let me look at my wool actually, because my wool should actually do that, right? I could be wrong. I don't think it does that. Let me look at my... I know something that does have it. If I go to my advancements, amulet advancement. No, not that, recipes. It had me. Miscellaneous. Lockets. Tag, Minecraft, added there. Okay, it's like that. Alright, so if I just... And this would be HMH2 rose dye. This would get you to rose wool. And make sure that group is out of there. And then I'm going to copy this, Control C. And then I'm going to see if this one works, because I need to fix the wool if the tag is wrong. This would mean it doesn't matter if you have a cyan wool, light blue wool, or just your regular white wool, it'll just slap on the new dye onto the new color, and it'd be great. I should probably make it white wool, because I don't know if you can do that. I'm going to see if you can or can't with other wools real quick. Because if you can't, then I have a... I did this wrong. So let me do item Minecraft white. Oop, I didn't mean to do it like that. White wool. Control C. Data. This. Loot, nope, not loot tables. Recipes. Alright, so after that we're gonna have the ultramarine wool. We're gonna just boop copy that into there. And we're gonna call this the Control F. Rose is now going to be ultramarine. So that makes this a lot faster. I don't have to change it a bunch of times. Now we're gonna be making the new green wool. Control V, Control F, and then we're going to type in new green. Nope, not there. Right here. Then we're going to have a spring green wool. Spring green wool. And then lastly, we're going to make V-I-O-L-E, violet wool. This is supposed to be rose, and then we replace rose with violet. Technically, from this point, you would have to. I mean, I could do it now, but I'm just gonna see if they're all working now. I would make the advancements, which is you pick up the wool and then you get it. All right. Don't put me in safe mode. Means I coded something really wrong. Oh, and the names of these should be perfectly fine. If I just look up dye just to check out the other ones. Violet, spring green, new green, perfect. And then if I put in white wool, we're going to tag a bunch of this on myself. And then I'm going to use, let's say, black wool. And then I'm also going to do red dye. So let's say, can I, in survival, can I just black wool and just slap some red dye on there? No, it has to be white. Alright, so perfect. I didn't break anything by, not doing anything different. So here we have ultramarine, violet, rose, new green, spring green. Awesome. Awesome. And everything is called properly. Great. Slash. Stime. Stime tet day. Time set dat. Alright. So the only thing from here is to do those little recipe things. Recipe, miscellaneous. I love shoving things in miscellaneous. I'm actually gonna put these in here. Alright, so this is gonna be rose wool rose wool, rose wool, and this is when you get HMH2, rose dye. So here we're going to do the same thing again. This is going to be called ultramarine wool. Control F, there we go. And we're going to replace all this rules with ultramarine wool and dye. That way I don't have to type it out multiple times. So we have ultramarine, then we have new green wool, new green wool, new green, and then we're going to have spring green wool, and then we have, oh, I made a mistake. Okay, VIOLF, violet wool, control, VIO, violet wool. And here, spring, I didn't type out the green word, so. So now that I have made all the recipes, they're all in my recipe book. I'm gonna make a new world. Otherwise, I won't know if this actually worked. That would be horrible. So after enough of a new world, we just make a new one. All right. Got some naturally spawning marble. Awesome. All right, so now I'm going to give myself a rose. The rose should unlock the recipe that I have unlocked, rose dye, right? So then I put the rose dye in here, and when I put this in my inventory, I should unlock the recipe rose wool. Look at that. Awesome. Beautiful. So that should happen for the other two, where if I have the spider lily and the wolfsbane, where it'll do the same thing, where I've unlocked this recipe, but as soon as it goes in my inventory, I've unlocked the wool recipe. Boom. So now, the other one is lime wool. And lime wool, green wool, and then cyan wool. So in survival, if I grab these, I will unlock the... Oh, because I picked up the cyan. I need this to get me this, which will get me... Yep, and that one unlocked. And then when I make these, that will unlock. Perfect, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now we have all these new wool types. Now that we have all these completed, we can now put them into the changelog. Alright, I've added rose, new green, spring green, ultramarine, VIOLET, violet, Control C. Actually, no. Rose, dye, rose, wool. I should do it like this. New green, dye, oop, wool. Spring green, dye, spring green, wool. Ultramarine, dye, marine, violet dye, violet. Alright, so look at all those cool things in my changelog. Awesome. Alright. There were some more things. Save the changelog. Look at the previous things. So originally, on my projects, I was originally just going to do the sponge, the clouds, and one more thing. I decided to go like nuts and look at the TNT. I probably shouldn't have done that. It'd be just like me trying to like look at like any of these custom structures and stuff like that. I'd be going nuts. I definitely have more things that I'm looking forward to add. Obviously, I'm always adding something, but this kind of shows the process of how easy or hard something might be. I plan to make probably more of these where it's like, I'll add something new. There are plenty of new blocks that I have, so I have like, when it comes to things like this, I have versions. My classic to InDev, I plan on trying to make new versions of these. In alpha, new things of these, beta. So eventually I'll get there, and then. But right now this is my current, and even then there's extras because I'm fixing or putting it off at a later point because I'm trying to focus on other things. If you take too much time on one thing that's too difficult, it won't be you won't really get anything done compared to if you just put it off and then you start working with other things, because then you'll know you get things done. And then once you know you've gotten things done, you learn things along the way of getting other things done. There might be one error, and with that one error you might realize something or you might fix something, and then eventually going through all that troubleshooting and just over time you have made enough experience to learn how to do those other things. But that's the stream. That's all I was gonna be doing today. I know there's this other stuff. I'm gonna do that on my own time or a later time. I just decided I was gonna slap 3 things on there, and then we ended up doing the wolves. I definitely was gonna just do that on my own time because I felt like that was gonna be boring. But I was like, wow, I really got those things done like really quickly. And I was like, oh, well, I know I said I wanted them to be easy, but that was a little extreme. I'll cobweb weather. I'll get to them. Anyways, that's pretty much all we're gonna be doing for in the stream. So thank you guys so much for watching, and without further ado,